Hello, guys. Hello. We are back. I'm so glad you were here. We are looking at Kody's COVID rules and how it destroyed his family. I love how he blames everyone for the demise of what happened, his wives. He's getting really salty lately. And I thought it would be a good idea to kind of, wind back the clocks, really look at the evidence because he tries to rewrite history. We're not going to let him do that today. Today, we are diving deep into how Kody's COVID rules destroyed his family. Not Janelle, not Mary, not Christine, not his children. It's Kody. And so that is what we are going over today. Hello. It is so good to see everyone. I'm so glad that you guys are here with new internet and a new mic. So if there's any technical difficulties, you guys just let me know. But I really want to get into this with you guys. So I see you guys. I see likes in the chat. Thank you for liking the video. I so appreciate it. Let's get into this, okay? We're doing this together as a group. Definitely follow along in chat. If you guys have something really saucy that you want to say, go ahead and let us know in the comment section as we watch this. Now, I am going to be doing, trust me, I am going to be doing a revision of the COVID rules because a lot's happened since it all happened. But I thought I would bring this out of the vault. We're going to do, this is a two-parter. We're going to do not only Kody and his COVID rules, but we're also, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, we'll see. At some point in the next 7 days of next week, we're not only just doing Kody, there is also a whole dedicated video on Robin and how she also contributed to the destruction of the family when it came to COVID. Okay, so let's get into this now, shall we? Let's go. I'm so excited to watch this with you guys. Let's do this.
For the last few years, our world has been completely flipped upside down due to a little virus known as COVID-19. And it affected us all, some more than others, some in big ways, and some in small ways. And when it comes to the Browns, it was the catalyst for the complete breakdown of their family. There are children not speaking to Kody, things are strained between Robin and Janelle, there's lots of regrets, and it pushed Christine to finally put a nail in the coffin of her and Kody's relationship. Now, Sister Wives over the last few seasons has been going completely off the rails, and the family's obstacles around COVID were front and center stage. And even throughout season 17, when COVID is supposed to be more under control, the after effects and the consequences of the decisions from the past are still haunting this family. So today, we need to go over it all. What really happened? Where did it all go wrong? Because some of the stories that people are telling the world, or maybe they're even just trying to convince themselves, but it's far from the truth. And it appears some are trying to rewrite history, and you know what? Today, we're not going to let that happen. So today, let's rewind the clocks and explore the Sister Wives' COVID madness. It is so crazy how history can be rewritten, or at least you will see some people attempting to lessen the blow or paint a much flowery picture of their transgressions or even pass blame. And maybe they've really just blocked out what happened, or maybe they're not able to really be impartial enough to actually see the truth. But what we have here is a rare opportunity to actually be able to go back in time and see things for what it was, especially since, lucky for us, we have the very unique ability to actually have the ability to use hindsight. Because hindsight gives us the ability to really see so much more clear. And we are in a very unique circumstance. Not only do we have the power of hindsight, but we also have the added bonus of having every bit of the Browns' COVID debacle documented. And what is quite evident is the story being told now, present day, is not actually the deep, dark truth of it all. Now, you might think that we're going to start this story when COVID hit the US, but actually, we have to start this story much sooner than that. Because what was happening in the months and weeks leading up to COVID is an extremely important piece of the puzzle. Now, the Browns were dealing with the after effects and adjusting to their new life in Flagstaff, Arizona, after they moved from the cul-de-sacs in Vegas. And everyone was either renting or purchasing houses as a temporary solution until their Coyote Pass land and property were developed and ready to build. So in the interim, all the wives were spread out and they no longer lived close to one another. And everyone was feeling the effects of being separated.
It's not just that we are geographically different, because I expected geographically different, but what I didn't expect was to feel isolated and feel separate. It just feels separate. It feels lonely. It's
Okay, before we continue, I have to pause right there because what I wish that I remembered IQ in the past. I wish that she had seen this, but that's okay because present day IQ is here to point this out. Did you see Cody's face there? Did you guys notice his face when he was looking at Christine? It's important. Hold on, let me try to find it. Hold on. Let me mute it so that we don't have to hear it again. But I want to go back to Cody's face because if you guys remember during this time, it was already the one house idea had already been kiboshed by Christine. And the resentment that Cody had for this woman, look at this. He can't even look at Christine in the eyes. He's still so furious at her for ruining his stupid one house dream. He's over it. He barely makes eye contact with her, and when he does as she's talking, look at the disdain in his eyes.
But what I didn't expect was to feel.
Let me just go back again. You guys might be like, no, IQ, that's not a big deal. Hold on. I want to go back because this man has never looked at Robin that way. Never. Never happened. I've never seen Cody look at Robin with those angry and disdainful eyes. Never happened. So keep that in mind. Let's keep going.
To feel isolated and feel separate. It just feels separate. It feels lonely.
It's really starting to affect our culture as a family.
And at this time, Christine and Cody's relationship, it was just sinking. And this is a constant theme that you're going to hear in this video. And it's about Cody's time and his attention because even before COVID, Christine was complaining that Cody was almost never at her house and would only visit for a few hours. And also, Cody and Mary's relationship was completely non-existent at this point, and it had been for a while. And Cody is just completely in a crisis mode and really questioning plural marriage altogether.
Okay, hold on. I see Mama Cat says, I'd love to revisit what the holidays look like in 2019. It may be in this video. I don't remember Mama Cat. And if not, then it's in the deep dive with Robin and how she ruined the family with COVID. So stay tuned. We'll see if it's in this one.
So here is the semi-good news. For once, all of the adults agreed on one thing. Their family culture, their morale, the existence as a whole was completely falling apart. And Janelle had had enough. And she decided she wanted to do something about it, and she called a group meeting to try to get things back on track. Now, in this meeting, everyone voiced their concerns. And Janelle wanted more communication. Robin wanted a closer relationship with Christine. Christine thought everyone hated her. And Kody was pondering his regrets about plural marriage in general. Now, before we really get into the depths of the COVID madness, we need to make something very clear. Because I feel like there has been an effort to try to rewrite history and make things appear as they are not. So one major theme that you're going to be hearing in the videos are comments from everyone, the wives, the kids, Kody, about Kody's time at different households. And it's important to highlight the state of affairs even before COVID hit. So during this meeting, Christine specifically stated to the entire group that Kody is only around the house for a few hours.
We only see him like once or twice a week, and he's just there in the evenings, and we don't see him any other time. He disrupts everything that we have, and partially because we don't even know when he's coming over.
Now, we got to think about this. If that was not the case, and if that wasn't true, why would Kody just let Christine say that? Why would he not defend it? So to me, this is my conspiracy, my speculation, is that this is an admission and an acknowledgement from Kody that what Christine is saying is true. Why would Christine say that in front of all the cameras, in front of all the wives? If Kody thought that this was a flat out lie, he would have probably refuted her claims. So I personally feel that there's some truth in Christine's statement.
It's easy to point the finger from everybody that dad is doing something wrong.
Before COVID ever hit.
Sorry, this one's not going to work with me, Christine.
This does work.
Now, before we get even further into the state of their relationship, and because of the rare times that Kody is physically present, Christine said that Kody was basically checked out and always on his phone.
I guess I wouldn't know because you're always holding your phone.
Now, could she be exaggerating, embellishing a bit? Well, that's kind of hard to do when Kody pretty much flat out acknowledged it.
When I am on my phone, it's because I don't feel like engaging. So it's not an addiction to the phone. It's an excuse to separate from the angst in our relationship.
Okay, I gotta stop here because, oh my gosh, this is just bringing back memories. It really is. Okay, so he wants distance. He is not only saying, this man is not only saying that he wants distance, look at his hands, which is why past IQ, good on you, girl, for showing the distance that he's using with his hands. He is physically showing you, I want space from this woman, which, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, Kody. In order to improve your relationship with someone, you get more distance, which means he's already pissed at her, like we talked about. The disdain that this man had for Christine once she squashed his dreams, it is palpable even now, even though this happened years and years ago. He wants distance, and guess what? He's going to get all the distance that he wants. You're going to see it happen in real time. He's telling us beforehand what he wants. It's like, I mean, okay, you know what? I don't want to use that metaphor. I was about to use a metaphor of like a murderer. Not a good metaphor. But it's like, I don't know. You know what? Let's just do like shoplifting. Let's just do that. That is like a shoplifter beforehand. They're going to Target. They're going to Walmart. They're going to whatever. They're going to a store. And beforehand, they say, this is what I'm going to steal. And this is how I'm going to do it. He is laying down the roadmap. And COVID was the perfect excuse to do exactly what he wanted to do. I really think that this man wanted to make Christine pay. I don't think that this man ever thought that Christine would leave him. Ever. Ever, because we've already seen with that counseling video, not counsel, well, I mean, it was a video, but when they had that counseling session, they made an oath then they would never leave, even if things got tough. And he could care less. He has 3 other wives to fulfill whatever his needs are, spiritually, emotionally, physically. He didn't give a damn. He was holding that as control. And he never, you guys, he never thought that it was going to backfire the way it did. So remember his words now. Remember his space, his distance that he wants with his hands. Guess what, Kody? You wished it, you're going to get it. And you know what? You're going to reap what you sow. All right, let's keep going.
So Kody basically admitted that his method of coping and dealing with the problems in his marriage was to avoid, deflect, and to basically ignore. He is basically emotionally checked out at this point. So there is really a lot going on right now in the family, and Kody is completely dejected, and in my opinion, maybe he's having a midlife crisis? Who knows? He was just having a lot of thoughts about his life's purpose and basically reassessing that.
For years, I saw purpose in my life, in plural marriage, in my family. But right now, it looks like this is not something that we're enjoying. It's not something that we're even respecting.
Okay. I gotta stop here. Hold on. I gotta stop. Let me tap back a little bit because this is important. Okay, you know what's so interesting? I remember when this season was airing, and it was before we knew that Christine was going to leave. And he kept talking about wives that want to leave. And I remember when he had that picnic with Mary that wives are free to leave. I didn't know who he was talking about. And it was frustrating at the time because he never named who the wives were. So let's just do a quick little process of elimination. Okay. He's making it seem like it's a bigger deal. Like maybe there's more wives than one. There's not more wives than one. It's one wife. And here's why. We're going to run down the list. Mary at this point, and still kind of now in the series, will kind of do whatever Kody wants. Kody has even said, Mary will just go wherever I go. He knows that he has it in the bag with Mary as far as being on the same page as him. Maybe not physically or being with her, but as far as having his way and getting what he wants, Mary is like the golden retriever. Okay. I'm not comparing her to a dog, just like that personality that's just like, whatever you do. Okay, let's go. Let's do. I want to go. Like, oh, you're throwing it. Okay, I'm going to get it. Okay, you're here. Like that, the whole golden retriever vibe, personality wise, even if it was a person, just reminds me of Mary when it comes to Kody. Not with anyone else in the family, but with her, with him. Okay, so Mary is not who he's talking about. Hold on. It looks like, what did he say? In my family right now, it looks like this is not something that we're enjoying. This is not about Mary. Mary's there, hook, line, and sinker. We know it's not Robin. Robin has everything that she needs. It's the love of her life, her soulmate. She's getting all the wives' money, a big ass house. So it's not Robin. And we know at this point, Janelle was 1,000% on board with the one home idea. Things were good at this point in the relationship, not later on in the video, but right now with Janelle and Kody, things were great. So he's making it seem like it's a bigger deal with the wives when it's one wife. Keep that in mind. Let's keep going.
It looks like this is not something that we're enjoying. It's not something that we're even respecting.
So it's obvious that Kody is really contemplating if the problem is actually plural marriage or if the problem is just his individual wives. And you can sense the resentment and the contempt building within him.
If I have got a great relationship with one wife and not with another, is it plural marriage? That's the problem?
And it was never more present than when Kody wanted to visit his polygamous friends, the Dargers. And I believe he was trying to center themselves and to regroup as a family, just have a family reset maybe. But Christine resisted wanting to go. She just wanted to have a phone call or a group call instead of visiting in person.
We can just call Joe on the phone.
And Kody gave the most ironic response ever.
Seeing somebody in person is a very different experience than chatting with them on the phone. Sure, Christine, next time you want me over, I'm just going to call you on the phone. How's that sound?
So is that a little foreshadowing maybe from Kody? I mean, if only we could have given Christine a crystal ball back then and say, run, girl. So remember, the Browns are living in a state of in-between right now. They are all trying to settle into their new town, their new homes, this new way of life, and trying to figure out the whole Coyote Pass situation and dividing land and properties so that they could all build on their new homes on their land.
I'm pausing for a second because now the wheels are just turning, and I'm thinking about this even more. Remember Kody giving us the whole distance thing with his hands and basically foreshadowing it? Once again, he's telling on himself, yeah, Christine, you know what? I'm just going to call you. You're not going to see me in person. We don't need to get together physically. Isn't that exactly what happened? That was his way of punishing her once again. He's just laying down these nuggets, you guys. This roadmap, my people, chat, my replay gang, this is so interesting to see. It's been a few years. I'm so glad we took this out of the vault because it's so needed. And yes, we're going to be doing a refresher, but oh my gosh, is it so good to see him caught in 4K. We're watching this real time. He can't walk this back. He's trying to, but we will not let that happen. All right, let's keep going.
And at this time, all of the wives were ready to get moving. They wanted to start working on the properties. But Kody had other plans. And like I said, you guys, hindsight is always 2020. And man, the COVID situation seems so much clearer in retrospect. And now, this part is really important because I've already shown you Kody's prior MO when it comes to conflict, which is basically to ignore, deflect, and avoid. But just wait until you see what Kody does next. Because the acceleration of Kody's 3 very unhealthy coping mechanisms, ignoring, deflecting, and avoiding, are about to go into unprecedented levels of overdrive, months before COVID even reared its ugly head. So a few short months before COVID would be known to the world, the Browns were going through a really rough patch with their family identity and their family culture. Their way of life and the relationships with each other were really struggling. And while everyone felt it, I do believe that it may have been Kody who felt it the hardest.
We're not on the same page about how our family should exist and how we should behave with each other. We're not the family we used to be.
Kody felt completely dejected, and he was not very optimistic about his family. He was worn out, he was tired, and he needed to figure out a way to cope and endure. And there are many different ways, you guys, that he could have gone about fixing that situation, especially when you're in that mental rut. And I can think of a few off the top of my head, like maybe it's time to visit Nancy, their therapist. Maybe it's time to have a heart-to-heart conversation with the wives. Maybe he just needs to take a mental health break. And it's crazy because this was supposed to be a really joyous time because finally, the last of the Vegas homes sold. Christine finally sold her house, which meant that finally, all of their houses in the Vegas cul-de-sac were sold and they could all breathe a sigh of relief. And now they could really start talking about their new life and their new property on Coyote Pass. You know, the one that they had dreamed about years prior. But there was one person at this time who was extremely vocal about not wanting to rush to do anything with the property.
Oh my gosh, hold on a second. I just thought of something, chat. Let me know, because I don't think I cover this in this video. Oh my gosh, my mind is blown. At this point in the game, when Christine had already squashed the one home idea, is this after they purchased the Coyote Pass land? Chat, let me know in the chat. Is this during this period of time? Are they landowners from Coyote Pass? Let me know if you guys can remember, because I can't off the top of my head. But I really need to know this. I really need to know this, because if I'm thinking, I'll wait for you guys. If I'm thinking, if I'm saying this correctly, if I remember this correctly, I'm pretty sure that Kody's bought the land. Let me know. Okay, I'm still waiting. Do you guys know? Or are you at a loss too? Let me know, chat. Yes, they purchased the land even before. Okay. Oh, really? Okay. Laura, thank you. Okay, so Laura said yes, they purchased the land. I get it. Lamb, you know what? Maybe you're a little hungry. I get it. Okay, the land before they even moved there. Okay. So if I just made the point that the last of the land finally sold, right? We know now that all of the land Cody's behind, his conniving ass. This makes me even more mad, you guys. His conniving ass at this point. Remember how he was smug at the dinner table saying we don't what did he say? You need to get you some because I have everything that I could need. That infamous thing. The way that he's looking at Christine with disdain is now this man has all of their assets with his name on it with the Coyote Pass land. Oh my gosh. So not only does he want to punish Christine, but he knows that he has the power as far as he's feeling very comfortable right now. Because where are they gonna go? He has all of the money, aka they put everything into those properties. Do we know at this point if Robin, and this is what I don't remember because it was so many years ago, at this point in the game when they had the conversation at the table where Kody was like, he basically told them, be good with what you have because I'm good and I'm not giving you anything else. That dinner table um conversation. Did Robin already have her mansion then? Because, oh my gosh, I didn't listen. Past IQ did not put that together. Current IQ and chat and replay gang, I know that you guys are seeing this. We're going to have to do a revision of this deep dive because, oh my gosh, this is even worse than I imagined. And from what I remember, this is insane. Hold on, let me see. Yep, Kody planned everything, Sarah K. Yep. Michelle Littlefield said, all of them have threatened to leave him. Robin started right at the very beginning. She said, I'll go back to my mom's. We'll go there for the Christmas party and we'll stay. Oh, we'll go there for Christmas and we'll stay. Really? I had no idea about that. Okay. Oh, Laura said, this is important. Laura said, Robin didn't get her mansion until later. Okay, fair enough. But we know if they bought the land, Kody put his conniving ass, put his name on every single deed. So remember that as he's sitting there all cocky and smug. All right, let's keep on going. Oh my gosh, there's so many revelations that we didn't know about at the time when this was happening. Wow. Doesn't that just seem different? This is a completely different vibe now.
Now, you may off the top of your head think that that was Christine, but believe it or not, that was Kody. And it was Cody's way of coping with all the family stress that he was really seriously considering selling the Coyote Pass property altogether and just not continue.
I'm so discouraged about where I feel like we're at with the property that there's days I wish I could just sell it.
So let's analyze that for a second. We know how hard it would be for the whole family to live together again if he sold that property. Remember how hard it was to find all adjacent properties in the Las Vegas cul-de-sac. So to me, I'm wondering, is Kody's statement more ominous than we thought? Was this Kody's tacit admission that being done with it would mean that he wouldn't be able to unite the family as one big unit? I mean, that's kind of what it sounded like to me. So Kody actively went out of his way to find ways to stall the production and building on the property. And I'm not even speculating about that. He says it.
Just a little discouraged. They want to talk about it, and frankly, I don't. I want to avoid it.
And even the wives, specifically Christine and Janelle, are frustrated with Kody because to them, it seemed like Kody wanted to keep everyone separated and not deal with it.
I am a little frustrated with Kody right now. Come on, we have to plug on. We have to keep chugging on and making this happen.
I just think subconsciously he's not interested anymore, and he's just fine with us living separately, I guess.
Kody even tried to sabotage the progress of the building on Coyote Pass by intentionally creating havoc as a means to distract the ladies from the overall goal.
Me talking big picture, like let's do 7 homes at once and all that. We get the 7 lots and we're going to have 3 rentals. That's just me stalling because I'd really love to just put them all off and just enjoy my peace for a little while.
So finally,
Wow. Okay. And this is like what, 4 years later? Isn't that what he's still doing? Isn't that what we just watched last week? This, I'm telling you, he lays down the blueprint. He lays it all out. Wow. Insane.
Kody let us really get a glimpse into his real, true inner thoughts. And Kody was just looking to have some peace. He wanted some peace, and maybe the best way to do that is to just not deal with any of it. And at this point, just stick a fork in Kody because he was done. He didn't want to be the leader of the family, and he was done trying to be the organizer for the new property.
I'm tired of trying to organize this property. I just know that families go as leadership does, and I just frankly don't give a anymore.
And in my opinion, this is the point, way before COVID, by the way, that pretty much pushed Kody over the edge. He didn't want to make decisions as a group. It was too hard, it was too much drama, and it was more peaceful for him and less stressful to deal with each wife and her household individually.
I feel like I have totally lost any desire to gather my family. It's so much easier for me to deal with one wife and her children at a time.
And even more importantly, it made Kody not want the family to get together again.
Whatever it is, whatever our dysfunction is, I don't know what it is, but it makes me very uncomfortable. So I don't even really care to get together anymore.
And here's the most insane part. Do you want to get a glimpse into Kody's mindset right before COVID hit? Kody was getting bitter about his wives and how he believed that he was just an afterthought.
I think they are enjoying it. This sort of independence from each other, doing my thing, living in my house, hanging out with my kids. Oh, and I get my husband once in a while.
Now, what I find so ironic about this statement is that doesn't the same apply to Kody? I mean, in just a few short months from now.
He's telling on himself again, you guys. He's telling on himself again. It's all right there. He's telling on himself again. This is insane. Go ahead, Kody. Keep laying out the road, the blueprint. Go ahead. Keep going.
Now, when COVID actually does arrive, I want to play his statement back again. And this time, I want to replace every time he's talking about his wives, put him in their place.
I think they are enjoying it. This sort of independence from each other, doing my thing, living in my house, hanging out with my kids. Oh, and I get my husband once in a while.
Because a few short months from now, Kody will be living in his house with his true love, Robin, being with their kids, and oh yeah, seeing his other wives every once in a while.
And now he's actively avoiding selling the property. Isn't that ironic?
Dangerous virus is spreading rapidly in China, and U.S. officials are very worried that it could come here. China has more than 200 confirmed cases of coronavirus, it's called, which produces pneumonia-like symptoms. 3 people have already died from this illness, which has spread to at least 3 other Asian countries.
Growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S. Here's what we know. A Washington state resident fell ill after returning from Wuhan, China, where the outbreak began. Officials now say more than 400 people have been sickened.
A few months ago, there was this emerging virus called coronavirus, COVID-19. and it got into the United States and became what they're calling pandemic.
So COVID hit just as the Browns were already going through a hard time being around each other. And now they are kind of forced to try to work together as a team once again. And during their first ever Zoom call meeting, Janelle basically proposed that since they have to quarantine, now is a good time for everyone to get together and rebuild their bond.
This stuff is all unfolding really fast. I think we just need to touch base and see where everybody's at and try to make a game plan. I mean, to me, this seems like a kind of a bonus thing. Like, I've been wanting the family to be more close together and have spend more time. And now we're going to have to almost do it out of necessity. Can't go anywhere, can't do anything, can't buy anything, can't eat out. But, we can all hang out together at home.
Which, this, I totally understood where she was coming from. And big picture wise, it makes total sense, especially with the family struggling so badly and the government talking about a 2-week lockdown at that point, that everyone staying home from work and the kids staying home from school, it would be the perfect time to get together as a family and to really work on their distance in the family. And looking at this in retrospect once again, wow, I wonder how different things would have been if the family had listened to Janelle. But anyway, by the end of the meeting, there was no final resolution because not everyone ended up being on board.
You guys think it's okay and safe for us to kind of spend time together?
So a few more weeks passed by, and still, this is in the beginning phases of COVID, and it was actually initially Janelle who decided to tell Kody not to come over to her house because her older kids were working and she just didn't want to risk it.
I'm just going to make the decision. I want Kody to stay away from my home until we can figure out how bad this is going to get.
Kody, I have this because I have boys that are working outside the house, Garrison.
And this is the beginning of the family's separation during COVID. Because not long after this, Janelle's adult kids started to question Kody's absence. Because it's not even about the physical distance at this point. We're talking about just his time in general. Because even calls over the phone to check in were not happening.
Dad said he'll video call you and he calls you, right?
Yeah, he has. He's called me.
Once.
Janelle really did start to see the cracks in the wall early, and she really tried to steer the ship back into the right direction pretty much early on. And a few weeks after this, and remember, this is still pretty early on in the pandemic, but Janelle ultimately feels better about not having to quarantine completely, and she tries again to corral the troops and have the entire family back together again. And she talked about the isolation from everyone was starting to have an effect on her mental health, and that her kids and her wanted this to change.
I will just be upfront. I'm about ready to psychologically lose it if we don't start getting together soon, and my kids are kind of at that space too.
I think my ideas of the whole family getting together are fairly radical for some people in the family because there are some voices that would have us completely stay separate.
And while Janelle really wanted the family to get together, and Mary and Christine were sad that they couldn't be at Robin's kid's birthday, others were finding the separation kind of peaceful.
We're not able to have birthday parties all together. So sad, right?
Isn't it so weird? It's so quiet without the whole family here, you guys, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's so weird to be here doing a birthday party without everybody.
It's actually kind of peaceful.
It's not that peaceful.
I feel like it's disloyal or something to sit there and go, oh, this is nice, quiet birthday or whatever.
Now, this is the point of the story where
Wait a second. Okay. I didn't catch that the first time. It's one thing to say, I just think that's so weird. Robin's like, well, you don't say it, but you could see she was smiling when she's talking about it. She's like, isn't that weird that we're saying it? You're smiling, Robin. Like, just because you don't say it, haven't you ever heard the term actions speak louder than words? Just because you don't verbalize it doesn't mean that you don't want it to. You did everything, which we're going to get into in the other deep dive. Trust me. We have a whole video dedicated to just Robin, but just because you don't say it does not make it so. Come on, stop. I want to tap that back and listen to Robin lie her behind off.
Peaceful.
We're not able to have birthday parties all together. So sad, right?
Isn't it so weird? It's so quiet without the whole family here, you guys, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's so weird to be here doing a birthday party without everybody.
It's actually kind of peaceful.
It's not that peaceful.
I feel like it's disloyal or something to sit there and go, oh, this is nice, quiet birthday or whatever.
Now, this is the point of the story where I have to ask, how much of Kody's Stalin-like rules were actually about COVID safety, and how much of them were actually about finding a valid excuse that he can use to get the peace and space that he had been craving for months and possibly years?
I want everybody to feel like they've got a choice. But what they're literally doing is they're choosing whether or not they're going to have a relationship, a physical relationship with me or not.
I'm not going to follow the same rules that Robin is following. We already made plans to go do stuff, and we're going to go do stuff.
And listen, don't get me wrong. I know that Kody loves and cares about his family and really did want to protect them during COVID. I get that. But maybe consciously or unconsciously, he thought he could use the disobeying of his COVID rules as a valid excuse and reason to hide behind not being fair and equal with his time to his other wives and children. And that's just my theory.
Well, and there's another theory from present day IQ, which is, and also to use it as an excuse to punish Christine. I really want to throw that in there. All right, let's keep going.
Conspiracy, my speculation. And you guys, believe it or not, all of this drama, it happened 7 weeks into the pandemic. Only 7 weeks. And already by this point, things were starting to fall apart.
I want everybody to feel like they've got a choice. But what they're literally doing is they're choosing whether or not they're going to have a relationship, a physical relationship with me or not. Oh, Dad, you're so stupid, Dad. I'd rather be around the kids than you anyway. This is how it feels to me.
And by week 7 of the pandemic, lines were finally and inevitably being drawn in the sand. One of the most noticeable metaphorical lines in the sand happened during the Brown kids' 2020 graduation day, because both Robin's daughter Aurora and Christine's daughter Gwendolyn were graduating from high school, and Kody banned outside visitors from attending the graduation. Christine asked Gwendolyn what she wanted for her high school graduation present, and Gwendolyn wanted to be around her family. So after the graduation, Christine and her girls packed up and went to Utah, and Kody was not happy.
Well, it's the end of graduation day.
Christine's taking the kids to Utah because she wants to celebrate the graduation with people I told not to come because I didn't want to be spreading, the risk of COVID.
I asked Gwendolyn what she wanted to do for graduation. She said she just wanted to leave town. So we're just going to go and have a good time. We'll be super, super careful, though.
These perceived slights against Kody's ego and his dystopian-like COVID rules were really getting under his skin.
It's a frustration to me that I feel a little bit undermined because Christine is doing it anyway.
And this is around the time that he completely was fed up. And this is where he started to vocalize that he was in polygamy hell.
I am in the depths of frustration. I am in polygamy hell.
My problem is I don't want to write anything down there because I don't give a anymore.
Care about what? What does he not give a about? Like, it's taking all of my self-control to just stay.
Kody was so fed up, in fact, with everyone not obeying his rules to a T, that he started to see his own family as an obstacle.
Honestly, I'm at a point now where I see the family in many ways as an obstacle to my own goals.
I'm just looking at Kody like, what the hell planet did you come from? Like, considering your family an obstacle to his own goals? Well, that's about the most selfish thing I've ever heard.
So at this point, Kody is sinking further and further into his disdain and resentment in his family breaking his COVID rules, and he even justifies further why he is distancing himself from the family.
We've moved here. We're going through the struggles. I've been arguing about COVID now for so long with these ladies. That's the reason I don't care anymore.
And on the other side, once again, Janelle is trying to step up and come to the rescue. And once again, she tries to get the group together to decide when things will be okay for them to meet up as a family. And isn't this by now her third or fourth attempt at this point? And just remember, I think by now we are well into at least 5 months into the pandemic. The problem is, one side at this point will not budge. They want an all or nothing approach when it comes to COVID. Follow our rules 100% or else. There was no such thing as compromise or negotiation. And Janelle and Christine were following the CDC's recommendations to reduce COVID exposure. And Kody, Mary, and Robin were all following a much stricter protocol.
We're still in the middle of this COVID pandemic, and the family still doesn't see eye to eye on how to manage risk. Kody, we've got to figure out a way to see each other. I follow the state regulations, the local regulations, the CDC guidelines. Kody and Robin, I think especially, observe a few extra requirements.
And you would think that at some point things eased up. But as you know, it didn't. It got worse because Kody, in my opinion, made a lot of bad choices during the pandemic. But in hindsight, even he agrees that he should have done this part completely different. And what I'm talking about is the absolute horrendous choice that he made regarding Ysabel's surgery. Number one, the fact that he even suggested that she go to surgery by herself was completely asinine.
I mean, here's the thing is, if we're going in September for the surgery, I don't think I'm going to be going. I'm not going to I'm not going to go there, okay? Do we send Ysabel by herself?
Did he really just say that?
Kody choosing to let Christine and Ysabel go to surgery by themselves was devastating to Ysabel and Christine, but in different ways. Ysabel didn't understand how her father could do that.
I don't know, why wouldn't he be there? Why wouldn't he just drop everything for me? I think his priorities are a little screwed up.
And for Christine, this act by Kody really ended up putting the final nail in the coffin of Christine even wanting to try to work things out on their relationship. And after his choice, this really was the beginning of the end.
Straw or
yeah. When Kody said that he wouldn't come to Ysabel's surgery.
Kody's reasoning at the time, and honestly, I'd like to call it more an excuse, but his reason to not attend Ysabel's surgery was twofold.
Well, the reason that I'm not going is basically two reasons. The amount of time because of COVID and quarantine and stuff like that I would have to be away from the rest of the family, and because of the risk of exposure to COVID-19.
But here is my problem with this statement. This is such a unique experience, so why not sacrifice for the 4 to 6 weeks with Ysabel to help your daughter recover from major surgery? Yes, true, you'll be away.
Well, we know why. We know why. It's because he couldn't be without his lady love for 4 weeks. Sharon said she is like number 64. Thank you so much for liking the video. And she said, I'm totally shocked this is on. No notification. Dang it. Damn you, notifications. It looks like a deep dive, but with live chat. I'm so confused. Well, there's nothing to be confused about, Sharon. I took this video out of the vault so that we could all watch it live, because this channel is IQ Live, which is where we do things live. But this is one that was in the vault, and I wanted us to do this together. And also, we're going to be doing another live watch deep dive of Robin's side of her COVID debacle and her COVID blame of how she kind of ruined the family. And we will do that. I'm really thinking in the next 7 days. I'm not sure yet. I just dropped a major deep dive on my main channel, so definitely check that out. Super proud of the last 2 videos that I did. If you have some time this weekend and you want to just watch something, those I would highly recommend. It is pinned in the comment section of my main channel. But anyway, that is what's going on. Let's continue.
From your true love and her kids, but I know that Janelle and her kids would understand the sacrifice. And maybe that 4 to 6 weeks would have ended up supplementing and making up for the excessive amount of absences in Christine's household anyway. Kody had already proclaimed before that if any of his wives had COVID, he would sacrifice, he would stay with them to nurse them back to health.
If Robin was to get sick, my first reaction would be I need to be there to nurse her and help basically take care of Solomon and Ariella. Yes, if you're sick and you need to be taken care of, I'm going to have to come and do it. So that would go for any wife.
At least everyone thought that, except Mary.
You would go over there and take care of them.
I disagree with him.
And in that case, why wouldn't Kody have just treated this situation like he would have one of his wives if they had COVID? Listen, it's still a health issue. It's very unique. It's a one-time thing. And it pretty much baffled everyone, but Mary and the power couple, I guess.
I don't know, he's such a brave man. He's so brave and he's so strong, and he's letting fear control him.
That he chose that route. And here's what I believe. I believe that Kody was either...
Hold on, I gotta go back. I gotta tap that back. Hold on. You know, Ysabel brings up a really good point. However, I think this is all semantics here, but I like how she said he's letting fear control him. And yes, it's nuanced because fear was part of that, but he's letting Robin's fear control him. He's letting Robin control him, and Robin is being controlled by the fear of Solomon getting COVID because of the RSV, and she was the most petrified about COVID. So yes, it's semantics. Ysabel is pretty much spot on, but just that little nuance, which makes such a big... Let's keep going.
Health issue. It's very unique. It's a one-time thing. And it pretty much baffled everyone, but Mary and the power couple, I guess.
I don't know, he's such a brave man. He's so brave and he's so strong, and he's letting fear control him.
That he chose that route. And here's what I believe. I believe that Kody was either lying to himself, or he knew and was just lying to everyone else to try to rewrite history to not make him look so bad. Because once again, he is trying to pin this on Christine and how he had to socially distance from her family because they had been traveling.
They prefer to do things with other people rather than to make it possible for me to be at home with them. How does that play out long term in a relationship?
Well, what?
Yeah. Well, newsflash, we know it doesn't. And that 3 of your wives left your ass, Kody. So we know exactly how that plays out. Just wanted to make that point. Let's keep going.
Horrible timing for Kody because right before the pandemic, he was trying to find any excuse in the book to distance himself and to have a break from things.
We only see him like once or twice a week, and he's just there in the evenings, and we don't see him any other time.
That's just me stalling because I'd really love to just put them all off and just enjoy my peace for a little while.
It's so weird. It's so quiet without the whole family here, you guys, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
It's so weird to be here doing a birthday party without everybody.
It's actually kind of peaceful.
It's not that peaceful.
And he was so blinded with rage from Christine that he was actually paranoid that Christine was using Ysabel's surgery as a way to slight him and to get away from him. But he did not realize how much pain Ysabel was truly in. And here's the part that just blows my mind and really puts his whole argument into question. Kody was so defensive that when he's over at Christine's, he does spend time with his kids. And all of the other issues are why he's distancing himself from the family or due to everyone else breaking the rules, right? That's his stance. So my question is, then why would Kody, as the father to Ysabel, how would he not know that his daughter was in so much pain? How would he not know? So he never had a conversation with her about it? Did she not feel comfortable enough to share it with her dad? Or did he actually ever bother to ask? To me, my conspiracy, my speculation, is I believe he was still checked out on his phone when Christine was over at his house. He was still pouting. He was still mad about the situation. I don't know if he was actually really mentally there. And there are so many questions that I still have about that time period.
I don't understand how he cannot know how much pain she's in. I'm getting so frustrated. Anyway, maybe if he was around more, he'd see this more.
You could see Christine is so done at this point. I think, man, even back then, you could just sense her tone was so different. Mima, thank you so much for the memberships. It's good to see you, girlie. I haven't seen you in forever. Mima gifted 5 IQ Live memberships. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, girlie. And Mima said, finally caught alive. And yeah, we're so glad that you were here. It's good to see you. Okay. Yeah, Christine was so done. Caroline said, he doesn't care about anyone's pain but his and Robin's, I guess, and their children, I guess. All right. Christine's so done. She's so done. So done.
But regardless, even now, looking back at that incident in hindsight, Kody knows that he messed up and he really regrets not going.
There's no going back, but I wish I could have been there, and it's a real regret. It's done. It's where it's at. But I don't want her resenting me all of her life because I wasn't there for her when she needed me the most.
He was able to rise above the moment and see the damage that had really been done. And I believe when Christine and Ysabel finally got back from surgery, Kody wanted to finally try to get things back on track because it really had gone off the rails. But of course, he couldn't give in the right way. Of course, he had to be uncaring and really not understanding. I mean, he called Christine's time away a vacation.
Well, we go and we just
I mean,
hang out
you were
with him.
basically in New York or in New Jersey, you were on a vacation.
He had to be defiant in that moment.
Wait, me. I wonder, can we just have that back for a second? I wonder, Christine had so much grace and composure when Kody said that, because even me, and we know that scene happened and it was years ago, the restraint that it would have taken me to not raise my hand. You know what? And I don't condone violence. I'm just saying metaphorically, you know how you just wish you could do something? To in that moment just want to. There's a big difference between wanting to and actually doing it. So just the thought of just being able to smack him across the face as he says that would be so satisfying. Are you kidding me? You think that it's a vacation that our daughter needs surgery and I'm going and I'm barely sleeping or eating and I'm her 24/7 caretaker, let alone flying across the country, being in a strange hotel room. You don't have any access to any of your comforts and amenities. And you're staying with relatives. That's not comforting. I mean, it is comforting, but it's not relaxed. It's not the vacation that it's not Club Med. Stop it. Can we just go back to how classy? Can we put some ones in the chat for Christine's grace in this moment? Because I could not have been that graceful. Put a 1 in the chat if you would have been as graceful as Christine and also supporting Christine. Put a 2 in the chat if you feel like you would have slapped the hell out of Kody. Be honest. Let me know as we watch this again.
I mean, he called Christine's time away a vacation.
Well, we go and we just
I mean,
hang out
you were
with him.
basically in New York or in New Jersey, you were on a vacation.
He had to be defiant in that moment still. He still couldn't address that situation humbly. He still couldn't accept any fault. And on top of all of that, once again, he wanted an all or nothing approach. He wanted Christine to stop traveling so that he could come back to the house. And this is where Christine brought up the whole nanny incident, probably one of the most infamous lines in Sister Wives COVID history.
What is the nanny and her husband doing that makes it so they can come over? What does the nanny do?
So Kody has to call for backup after Christine called him out.
We are not making any progress here, and I'm hoping that tomorrow I can come back
and maintain my argument or maybe get some backup.
And he has to put together this meeting, and trust me, I think we all know who the backup person is. His partner in crime, his true love of all ages, Robin. And for those of you wondering, why hasn't IQ discussed a lot of what happened with Robin? Because Robin's a major part. Believe me, I know that she has a huge part to play in this whole COVID debacle.
We'll be able to get together for Christmas Day. If we don't.
Are you the head of the family?
Pissing me off. They're looking to Robin like for some kind of approval. I don't have a head wife in this family.
And don't you worry, because there was so much crap with her to discuss that I found that I have to make my own separate video just on her COVID madness alone. So if you thought that this video was crazy, wait until you see the continued madness that I uncover with her and Kody. Because honestly, I think...
Okay, so basically that is what we are going to be watching next. What did you guys think? What did you think of the COVID madness with the Codester? Gosh, there's so much that we covered, and it was so good to kind of open that vault and go back in time and really explore what that was all about. It just doesn't it hit differently, chat? My replay gang, doesn't it just feel differently watching this time? To me, it 100% does. Kathy said, get her IQ. She needs to be stopped. Don't worry. We're going to get into that next time. He is absolutely wrong. Tracy's fractured rig. Hello, Darlene. Yes. The Dementors from Harry Potter can have Kody. Agreed. Like number 81 and 82. I love it. Watching on TV and iPad. Oh my gosh. Thank you. That is double duty. I really appreciate that, Daisy Duke. All right. So, oh no, that's fine. T Boyle said, no offense, I've learned nothing new. This isn't about learning anything new. This is an old deep dive that I wanted to take out of the vault for us to refresh our memory about what happened. There were things that I didn't remember. I know that. And looking at this from a different perspective, because there's things that make more sense now that we didn't know about back then. So it just kind of really uncovers to me Kody's playbook, and we see him. We see him in a way that we had not before. I guess that's the only new angle. But yeah, there's no necessarily new information. Just a different perspective. T-Boyle. So anyway, you guys, the last episode from last week, I did not go live to talk about it because really it's pretty much all about Coyote Pass and what they want to do. I mean, we could talk about Kody and Mary and him being a complete ass, but we'll just do that after this next episode when I do the review. But yeah, so look out for Sunday night. Either we'll go live that night or Monday, because there's enough to discuss for the last two episodes. Also, we're going to be doing the deep dive on Robin, but there's more deep dives. There are there's a deep dive that I actually just dropped this morning on my main channel. Check that out if you want to. I have the link that's in the chat. I'll also put it in the comment section once this is a video. And just check out my channel page. It'll be in the hot topics for January, my two latest videos. I am so proud of them. You guys are really loving them. No, it's not Sister Wives related. So if you want to check it out, go ahead. If you just want Sister Wives content, stay on this channel. So yeah, I should see you Sunday night. I should. But you should get a notification. I'll try to do the video and do it live. Live notifications a few hours before. Okay. So it was so good to see everyone. Mima, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. Channel members, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for liking the video. For all my replay watchers, to everyone that came to watch live in chat, thank you so much. To all of my mods, thank you for being here. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for helping to support this channel. I love hanging out with you guys. Have an amazing Friday night. Stay tuned. Make sure your notifications are on. Sub to both channels. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.